What's going on, people? It's your man, the YB, back once again. Big shout out to my doggy Donny69 for coming through and boosting up the coins. So, why is my wig coming out the top of the camera? Apologies, folks. I know you, man, want to see the pineapple. You best believe it. Anyway, we got some videos to look at here, and I can't lie to you. If I hadn't been demersexualized, this video I'm about to play, I'll be putting some coins on Tyson Fury. And to be honest, I have been a little bit cucked. I have been a little bit sexualized towards Tyson Fury. I was fixing to put a oneer on Usyk, but I'm shook to my boots. I'm not betting no. I'll probably put 30 on Usyk, and that's as much as it's going to go. So I don't know. Especially with Turkey sucking Tyson off. I haven't got confidence Usyk's going to really do him some harm. The plumber from Morecambe. I can see him in there thinking he's winning and he's not. Or you know what I mean? He probably win 8 rounds, for example. 8-9 rounds and he gets bumped. That's where I'm leaning towards. Equally, he could knock Tyson out. Anyway, the point is, I like betting on certs. Or something that makes a lot of sense. And I could see Usyk losing this fight by robbery, is what I'm saying. Anyway, here's the quotes that have inspired me from Tyson Fury.
Early in the morning for me.
You talk about being on a mission there. You talked about being on a mission there. Is the mission to regain the crowns? Is the mission to be the undisputed? Is that the mission? Or is just the mission to get through camp, get into the fight, get into the next one?
No, my mission's never been undisputed. Never been my mission. It's been other people's missions. My mission's to smash this face right in on Saturday night. There's no chance he can beat me. None. I ain't got a cut this time. I'm nursing. I ain't got
So
a
that
ton
means
of
you could
problems.
spar. That means you could spar.
Yeah, I can do everything now. I've never been as confident in my life for smashing a face in I've ever been doing him on Saturday. Even at 36, when people think he's he will rise like a phoenix from the ashes. I'm going to destroy this on Saturday night. You watch. Watch me go to work on Saturday night on him. You watch it. I beat him last time on a half mass. Nursing a massive cut.
There seems to be a bit more spite in you.
So, you heard them bars there from Tyson. And now you can probably... I mean... He sounds confident, doesn't he? Let's call it a spade. Listen, in the day, he cucked us last time with the same bars. Didn't he? Right? So as much as I've talked myself out of the Usyk bet, I might put a 50 on. Thinking about it now. Because he's... What makes me believe it don't matter how much he wants it. It'll help a little bit if... I just don't believe he does. I really don't. Can the loss have invigorated him? Most people actually, usually, especially in the new age, they fight harder until their O goes. Once their O goes, it's like, well, what am I really fighting for now? If you couldn't muster... Fury couldn't muster nothing in them last 3 rounds. He couldn't muster no real effort. We saw it with Mbongo as well. He went life and death in that Mbongo fight. I believe he lost it, and I said it at the time. I think he lost that fight. Didn't have the fight in him to take risk. He comes out in there against the middleweight, Usyk, and he runs back to the... He's just running the whole time, more or less. There was a few good pot shots in there. But most of the time, he was running. He gets put down. There was no oomph in him. Has this loss reinvigorated the oomph? By the sound of him, it's reinvigorated the oomph. We had it the same in the last fight, though, in May. John Fury nutted that guy, and then it was the way in, and Fury said, "Oh, you are getting it. You are getting it. You are hooked." Didn't he? And I was sitting there, ranking myself off to it, losing my coins to it. And here we are. I got bumped. So, as much as I'd like to believe, and like I said already, it's influencing me to some extent. I'm betting less. So, even at this point, confidence sells. That's how do you think old ladies get bumped for their retirement money? A con man, a confidence trickster. Oh, he knows how to get me 15% a year returns, guaranteed, no risk. And they got all the chat. Someone like Eddie Hearn. Yeah, if Eddie Hearn's dad didn't silver spoon him, Eddie Hearn would be the type dude who would be knocking on your nan's door, pitching him some retirement investment risk-free service for 20% a year. Risk-free, man, 20%. Bash. That, you know, he got that kind of chat. about him. You got to look as well. Eddie Hearn puts a suit on, knocks you down the door. Hey, apples and pears, I got some life insurance / retirement income to pitch you. You understand that one there? And this is the same thing from Tyson Fury. It's a pitch. It's a marketing tool. It's not going to have no effect on Usyk. The only thing that can have an effect on Usyk is actual balls when the bell goes. You've got to have balls. And part of it is Usyk's greatness, but ultimately, I've seen this is what I don't get. Oh, maybe Usyk's really good. He's really good. But I have seen old school dudes, have a go. That's the bottom line. I've seen old school dudes have a go and get punched up. And have a go. Have some more of a go. AJ didn't have a go like that. AJ did not have a hearty old school go. Right? Dubois didn't have a hearty old school go. Fury didn't have a hearty old school go. That's what's been missing here. Yes, again, some of it's to do with Usyk's excellence. But I don't believe, if you'd have put Usyk in there with Evander Holyfield, I don't believe Holyfield, let's say Usyk in his prime, Holyfield in his prime. The point I'm making is, I don't believe you'd see Holyfield in there choking and second guessing. He's going to come in with his head and he's going to let his hands go. And Usyk might outbox Holyfield. The point is, you'll see him having a go though. So it's a mentality thing that's missing in these new age guys. And that's why I think the Dubois rematch will be interesting. Dubois has shown he'll go in there like Holyfield. Wade him with his head and his hands will be throwing. That's how you beat Usyk. Fury could pull off the back, but you got to have some spot. You got to bring some Tommy Hearns type spot if you're going to be on the back foot. And Tommy Hearns was in there with Hagler. He was on the back foot, but you could see he's drilling his foot into the ground. The shots are winging. All the Fury shots were like, whoop, when he's pulling out. There was no bad intentions on Fury's shots, really. There was pot shots and fun trick shots. They weren't really... You see you plumber from the Ukraine. You are getting it. There was none of that in there. And that's what I've said it for certainly recent history. No one's going to beat Usyk having a great time. That's what we can agree on now. Necessarily, he might not, Danny D might come in there and be really on it and still get his head boxed off. Fine, I'm happy. I'm fair to give Usyk his praises. My only reservation on Usyk is he's a cruiserweight, but he's got an old school mentality. We haven't yet seen Usyk in there, not his fault, but that's the facts. The facts are we haven't seen Usyk in there with a heavyweight with an old school mentality who wants to actually get in there and throw his hands. They've all been fannies. AJ, fanny. Fury, fanny. Dubois at the time, fanny. Dubois was in there just having a look and he wasn't coming in with his head. He wasn't giving him the Holyfield. Come wading it, you're 250 pounds. Come right in with your head. Bowl him with the dome of your head and let them hands go. And that's what he's been doing. Danny D's pulled it off now. He's made his career. Yeah, head down. I'm coming in with my head and my hands are going. That's the secret formula to win these heavyweight fights. And Holyfield passed you that game. Mike couldn't deal with that. Mike was no good. Mike wasn't a fighter like that, but you get the point I'm making. Holyfield made a career, factually, of having a go. That's what you can say about Holyfield. He had a good old go. Yeah, in the prime of his career, Holyfield had a good old... And even when he was... Also watched the James Toney fight. Even when Holyfield was washed up. He didn't go in there and just... He's butt twitching and he's second guessing himself. He had a good go against James Toney. He did. He wasn't butt twitching thinking, oh, I'm old now, let me back up and completely change what I'm doing, like AJ versus Ruiz too. He had a good go in that fight. He was outmatched, but he had a good go. You can never say he didn't have a good go, Holyfield. A good go he had. And he was in there with bad men as well, what I was doing. Imagine him in these days. Imagine Holyfield in there these days, with these dudes sitting there. Watch Dubois or AJ versus Usyk, they're like, their butt's tight, man. They're waiting for him to do what he's doing. Holyfield weren't doing that. You're just sitting there posturing and scared to death. He wasn't. Coming in. And it's frustrating because you're heavyweights. Usyk should be the one who has to think about what he's doing. Why are you lot standing there? And I get he's got great footwork. And again, part of it's probably because it's not as easy as I'm making it out to be. We'll see if we get the Dubois rematch. We'll see that. That'll be a true test of, if Usyk boxes Dubois' head off, I'll get back in my box. And I'll say, you know what? All the bars I've told you about being hard, just forget about it. He's just too good. But so far, Even AJ is no good. That second fight was somewhat close. AJ won, what, 5 rounds? And that was AJ in there, scared to death. So I'm telling you now, Danny D come in there with bad, wicked intentions. Babylonious intentions. What's Usyk gonna do? What's he gonna do? Hrgovic couldn't do nothing with Danny D like that. AJ couldn't do nothing either. AJ's big, marked right hand hit Dubois coming straight in again. He's coming looking for more trouble. So what's Usyk gonna do? Chisora, for example, that showed you. And Chisora's not Danny D like that. Chisora shows you. Yeah, Chisora's nowhere near as good as Holyfield. That's the point I'm making. Chisora versus Usyk. Yes, Usyk won that fight. It was a 7-5 type fight though. At best, some people, I think it could have been a draw. I wouldn't have been angry at a draw. Yeah. Chisora comes wading in, winging shots, and Usyk's out of ideas. And that's someone who's really crude and got no gas tank and really crude in Chisora. Chisora's not the caliber of Dubois or Holyfield, right? That's what it will take. Not asking too much here. There's like the top 30 dudes from 1980 was about that. Watch Mitch Green and Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson in his prime. Mitch Green was having a good go in that fight. He had almost a Tommy Hearns look about him. The shots he was throwing, he was trying to do some damage. You just don't see that now. People are all faffing around and posturing and ooh. That's how it looks. Anyway, the relevance is Fury's not got it. All that talk about Danny D, Fury hasn't got it at this point. Danny D's on the way up still. He's still getting the accolades. And Danny D's got his dad around him who's actually adding value. Not like John Fury, who's just leching off his sons. So Dubois on the way up. He's hungry. He hasn't peaked yet. Fury's, after the Wilder fight, he's peaked now. He's worth hundreds of millions. He's over the hill now. What's he doing this for? His O's gone. Got nothing to defend there. And even if he did have it to defend, when he fought Ngannou, his O was on the line. And guess what? He didn't want to lock the victory in down the back straight. He was more or less happy to lose. He was grateful he got the win, but if Fury had lost that fight, he wasn't desperate in there. And the Usyk fight, the same situation. He wasn't desperate. The fight was close. Andy Lee told him, "Hey Tyson, man, you need these 2 rounds." Tyson comes out and he wins one, he loses one. There was no marked effort like the Wilder fight. Fury gets put down and ends up having his best round. Puts down Spark on the floor. And gets up and has his best round. That's gone. Evidentially. From the Ngannou fight and the Usyk fight show us that. And it's easy, again, like before the Usyk fight, it's easy to sit there talking in an interview about you little gap-toothed midget. When that bell goes, like we saw with the weigh-in last time, yeah, you're getting it, oh, you are hooked. When the bell went, he was broken. Like the rest of them. Like Dubois was, like AJ was. And it might end up being, like I said, I'm not giving Usyk credit potentially. It might end up being that it don't matter that you come at Usyk and you really want to fight. He still box your head off, and fair play to him. It might be that Usyk's turning these guys off somehow. I tend to not believe so though, because Chisora, Chisora was like 55 or 45 when he fought Usyk, washed, and Chisora was never that caliber anyway. A light-skinned Donny with painted toes knocked him out. He was never that level, was he? Vlad played with him, or Vitali, one of the two. So he was never that level, and he was all over Usyk. No respect. That's what you have to have in this game. No respect. Especially when you're a big old bone-dry lean heavyweight at 250 pounds, and you're a dude who has to eat and who's soft to the body in particular at 220. You've got no excuse now. No excuse to not go in there and replicate what Chisora did. It's about self-preservation. The reason these guys are butt-twitching, Fury, Dubois, and AJ in their fights, is because their butt was twitching. They was scared to death in there to get punched in the mouth. Something that old school managers didn't have that. They didn't. Watch Tommy Morrison versus Ray Mercer. I watched that back. Tommy was giving it to Ray Mercer in the early rounds. Hard shot. These were juiced shots as well. All them men were juiced back then. Tommy Morrison was juiced out of his mind, and Ray Mercer probably was as well. Tommy Robinson's all over. Sorry, not Robinstein. Sorry, not Tommy Robinstein. Tommy Morrison. Morrison's all over him. Ray Mercer's taking shots, and a few rounds in, Morrison's gassed, and Mercer's going to work. Big heavy. You don't even see that fight. Ray Mercer versus Let's get it up. The type of shots that I saw. Both of these, man, the type of shots they were throwing. Oh, it's on top rank. That's annoying. That means it'll be copyrighted. I'll try and play it on here.
Hi, I'm Gemini.
The type of shots these men throw, they were just spiteful. Spiteful shots. You just don't see them people throw them anymore, apart from Dubois now or Bacoli. You don't see people throw nasty shots. It's all like these arm shots now. And AJ Dubois and Usyk, sorry, AJ Dubois and Fury, it was all this. AJ was like this. Dubois was like pouring and looking and not a lot going on and having a look and having a faff. Fury the same thing. No bad intentions, and that's what's I've said it for a long time. That's the only way you're gonna beat Usyk, man. Bad intentions. Let's have a look here. See what I mean? These are big, heavy shots, and they're staying there looking to work. Look at these big, heavy shots. Big shots. Winging them in. They don't throw shots like that no more. They just don't. Look at these shots here. Look. And Ray Mercer is in there. And these are little. I think them gloves back in the day, man. They was like 8 ounces, man. They weren't. Look at these. Look at these heavy shots here. Clean shots. Spark on the chin. And even Tommy here. Even when Tommy's missing in that bit there, yeah. Look at the intentions on the shots that Tommy's throwing. Look at the intentions here. Bad intentions. That's not having a look. Daniel Dubois, when he fought, Usyk weren't throwing shots like this. And yes, Usyk's footwork's better than these, man. So it might be you can't pin him down, but you got to come in, man. You got to come in with that head and just work. Pop, 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 pop. If you got to put 3 jabs on the end to get dude to the ropes, you got to hurt him like a sheep. That's what you got to do. And the relevance of this Tyson Fury is, look at these just winging shots in, man. Heavy shots. There's no faffing around here, folks. There's no faff. These new age man don't have this one here. They don't. They don't have it. You saw Dillian White. Dillian White's like slapping around against the old West African relic. And Ray Mercer's took a lot of shots in this fight. And look at him now. It's coming. Even him now. Even the shots that are missing, they've got something. It's like, I don't know what to say. It must be the estrogen they're putting in the soya milk. Because these men knew how to throw hard shots back then. Now it's all about, keep your butt tight and don't commit. And like, I'm scared to get clipped. And these cats, to be fair, they get clipped. These new age cats, and then knock Spark out. The first shot that lands. You saw Ray Mercer, he's eating a whole bunch of shots. He ate a whole bunch of shots in this fight. It's spiteful. These cats were spiteful, man. Spiteful. Even there, Tommy was out and Razor's not stopping. Totally ferocious. And he took some good shots as well. Look, Tommy's winging the shots in there. Tommy ain't no punk at this point. He wasn't no punk. These are big, heavy shots in them little gloves. They're like 8-ounce gloves, man. They ain't 10 ounces. Forget about that. Back in these days, the gloves were tiny, man. Full of horsehair. They weren't real gloves like we now. The big balloons they have on. These are proper gloves. Big heavy shots. Look at that there. There's no heavyweight today. I'm telling you now, yeah. There's no heavyweight today. No heavyweight today. You people, if Tommy hit AJ with his combination here, he's spark out, right? Watch this one here. Watch. Uppercut and then a hook right on the, come on. AJ would be like, Argh! Right? He would be. He'd be sparking. Never mind coming back to fight to win, which is what Ray Mercer ended up doing. He was getting hit in the first few rounds. He was getting hit with shots like that all day and night. He sucked him up and ends up stopping Tommy. Look at AJ with Ruiz. Ruiz can't punch like either of these two. Right? He can't punch like that. AJ gets blocked once and he's finished. There's nothing in him. There's nothing in him. He's like, oh, I've been down. Oh, I'm scared to death. These new age is no good. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not just one of them people who are saying, "Oh, everyone's always slagging off the new age." The new age sucks, man. It just does, especially in terms of boxing. It sucks, and I don't know, but yeah. Either way, this chat from Fury is good, but it's not gonna mean nothing when the bell goes, unless he really has done some soul searching, which has been implied. He said, "Oh, I haven't been home for 3 months, and I haven't spoke to Paris for 3 months, and I'm keeping in warrior mode," so it could make a difference. But I've said for a while, people need to show me now. You show me at least once, like with Dubois. It took me twice, to be fair. The Miller fight and the Hrgovic fight, I've said, you know what, Dubois showed me something. Fury needs to show something, because his last few fights, Chisora 3 really sucked, if we're honest. He looked good in that fight against the old stiff dude, washed up dude. Equally, couldn't stop him, couldn't hurt him. He couldn't put Chisora down. He bumped my money as well. I had about, what was it? I think I had about $1,000 on Tyson Fury to score 1 knockdown or more. It paid 500 profit back. I thought, that's a cert. Bear in mind at the time it was like, Fury's blown Wilder's back out. Fury couldn't do nothing with Chisora. Couldn't do nothing with him, so he can't punch. That was 2 years ago, so he can't punch even more now. He's even more finished now after Mbongo put him down and Usyk knocked him out on his feet. Right? So it's like, where are we? He's had 3 bad fights on the trot, essentially. 3 underperforming fights on the trot. You got to show me something. The talk is not... If I take you at the talk, I'm a fool. Because we've been doing that. That's how I've been bumped a whole bunch of times by Tyson Fury. He bumped me on the Chisora fight. No knockdowns. He bumped me on the Usyk fight. Got punched up. So I'd be a fool to sit here and say, oh, he's sucked me in again with the talk. I'd like to say that, I'm not going to lie. The estrogenic, low T part of me saying, the homosexual part of me saying, yeah, he's going to do. But I can't do it, man. You must lead with evidence in this game.
The normal.
Watch me go to work.
We just sit.
Watch me go to work, son, on Friday night. I'm going to go to work on him.
And has everyone else in the camp noticed this? I mean, I know
everyone knows what's going to happen.
They've seen you over the camp build into where you are now in front of me now in fight week.
Fight week. Everyone knows what's going to happen.
Now, is that anger or is it spite or is it just the fact you just want to do it?
It's just the fact that I'm better than him and I'm going to prove it on Saturday night. Boxing, fighting, heart, whatever you want.
Did it hurt?
All right, mate. I've heard all this before. I've heard it all before. I'm going to show it all. And you really showed less than you did in the earlier part of your career. You showed a lot more in Wilder 1 and Wilder 3. A lot more. And even Wilder 2, you came back. You knew Wilder could hurt you and you stuck it on him. That's where Fury peaked, unfortunately. And ever since Wilder 3, we've had Chisora, rubbish. Mbongo, rubbish. And Usyk, rubbish. That's the trend. And he's another 2 years older, so it's difficult to side with this one.
Hurt you losing?
No, not at all.
Didn't affect you? Didn't bother you?
You fill this room with money, the amount of money I got for losing. Do you know what I mean? And I didn't even thought I lost anyway.
Yeah.
You know, in my opinion, I won that fight. So, a lot of opinions. Even one of the scorecards had me winning. So, you know, it didn't affect me. I'm going to come back and I'm going to win it.
So this is revenge, or is it just putting things right?
No, it's not any of that. It's just me smashing his face in on Saturday night. That's it. That's all it will ever be. Nothing more, nothing less than a good old-fashioned hiding.
Oh man, these bars did make me laugh, man. Old-fashioned hiding is. That's classic. But listen, man. Listen, you can't gamble or make bets based on people's talk unless they've earned it. Does that make sense? That's why I cut myself after Wilder 2 and 3 because you thought, you know what? There's something here now. There's something a little bit here. We didn't realise how bad the basketball player was, did we? The hype was, Wilder's really good. He's no good. He's no good at all. I need to listen to that again. That was funny.
In my opinion, I won that fight. So, a lot of opinions. Even one of the scorecards had me winning. So, you know, it didn't affect me. I'm going to come back and I'm going to win it.
So this is revenge, or is it just putting things right?
No, it's not any of that. It's just me smashing his face in on Saturday night. That's it. That's all it will ever be. Nothing more, nothing less than a good old-fashioned hiding.
Could you walk away after this? Could you walk away after this?
Definitely not. No way. Not in a million years will I walk away after this.
You're not finished.
No way. But what I'm going to do to him is going to be that bad of a beating on Saturday night, he ain't going to want to have a trilogy. And I'm hoping there's going to be a trilogy. Because all great dance partners have trilogies. It's facts. But what I'm going to do to him, he won't want a trilogy.
So have you got the same head on that you had going into the second Wilder fight? Because that was you were a different man from before LA and before Vegas. You were a different
Forget
man.
all the fights from the past. Yeah. Wilder was 5 years ago.
So yeah, he says he's going to whoop Usyk so bad he won't want a trilogy. I'm happy, listen, it's a sport end of the day. I'm happy to be that if it's the case, and I'm happy to be wrong if it's the case. I don't believe he's got it in him. I don't believe he wants it like that. Bottom line. Anyway, people, let me know your thoughts. Smash the like button, subscribe, like off the bell, 100%. There's no doubt about this one, people. Stop it.